Hi, I'm Marcy Horonis with Discover Vegan, and today we're here in Studio City, California at Sun Cafe. Everything here is made with just a little twist to make it extra special. People come from all over to get these vegan eats. So let's go inside and check it out. Hi Rebecca.
Hi Marcy, so nice to see you
Nice
again.
to see you again.
Hi Marcy.
Hi Ron.
Welcome to Sun Cafe Organic.
Thank you.
And why don't we take a table and talk?
Sounds great. I'm excited
right.
to be here. Thank you so much, guys, for having me here at Sun Cafe. I'm so excited. Tell me everything there is to know about Sun Cafe.
Wow, in 3 words or less, right?
Yeah.
Well, we started almost 10 years ago now, down the street in a much smaller location. We only had 20 seats when we started, and we actually didn't even plan to be a restaurant. It's so weird.
Interesting.
We're probably the only restaurant that happened by accident in LA. What happened was we had food that we sold through Whole Foods and other health food stores, and we saw this traffic going by our location, thought maybe we should open a little cafe, and then the cafe started doing much better than the restaurant.
Awesome.
And when Rebecca and I decided to open the restaurant, we like, what are we trying to accomplish here? And the first rule was no one goes away feeling deprived for eating healthy. That was number one
love
rule.
that.
So always like overdo the flavor if we're going to do anything. Never under. We want it to really be exciting food.
And it is.
Oh,
I
thank
can
you.
attest to that. It is exciting food.
So, and then we kept growing and growing, and then we started looking for a bigger location because it just was too small, and we moved here about 5 years ago, and so we went from 20 seats to 120 seats now.
Yes. Okay, so I hear that you guys are really into the environment and you have a sustainable project here. Rebecca, can you tell me a little bit about that?
Well, when we did the build out, it was a wonderful place. This place was built, it's almost 100 years old. It's one of the few houses left in LA that are actually restaurants.
Oh,
They've all been torn
interesting.
down, so we're
Okay.
one of the very few. And when we did the build out, tried to do everything as environmentally friendly as possible. We've got all these different recycled products. We've got a lot of old brick from some of the Beverly Hills homes that got torn down sadly,
Wow.
but just really fabulous on the outside. I'm from the South, and so I tried to do the patio kind of as a beautiful
Patio is
southern-
incredible. I could
Yeah.
stay out there and eat food all day.
Yeah, and well, and then we brought in this tree, this absolutely gorgeous tree, because there was a tree here in this location many years ago that kind of everybody in Studio City remembered, and it had to be taken out. Not by us, I could never have done that, but by the previous owners of the restaurant. So we decided to replace it, and we've got this gorgeous tree now that's just makes the patio and brings in all sorts of life and shade and everything.
And it's a wishing tree.
One of our wonderful managers here decided to make it a wishing tree. She brought in this beautiful kind of fairy magic that she has. And it is, we found little butterfly post-it notes and little leaves, and then you can come in and write a wish on the tree. And so it just makes it magical. And when you come in, you get this feeling of love and just acceptance.
It is. It's really pretty even walking in. Like, even if you don't know it's a wishing tree, like all these butterflies are like falling from this tree. It's really gorgeous.
Yeah, it's a beautiful idea.
Awesome. Okay, so you guys were voted. Tell us about that, Ron.
Well, 2 things. One, we were voted the most sustainable restaurant in Los Angeles a few years back. We used like compostable straws. All our to-go items are compostable. And
But I have to make a comment on these straws. Like
Yeah.
usually, like they're the paper straws that like fall apart
Right.
into your drink, which I'm not a big fan of.
Yeah.
These are almost identical to plastic straws. So I would suggest people coming here just for your straws.
yeah,
they're great.
I've tried those paper straws too, and like we have those thick shakes, and they just break down
It's
in no
tough.
time.
It's tough. They just like disintegrate. Your straws are amazing,
so that
just like your
works.
food.
And then also we were twice voted one of the 10 best restaurants in Los Angeles. not in the vegan category, not in the health category, but overall out of 9,000 restaurants, we were
Wow.
made it in the top 10 twice.
Oh my goodness.
So that was fun.
I thought that was just for vegan, but that's
No, overall.
like everywhere
Out
in
of
Los
9,000
Angeles.
restaurants, we made it to the top.
Okay, that's just one more reason to come here.
And it is funny because we'll see this. We've done surveys, number one, and most of our customers are not vegan. About 65% are meat eaters, and they don't want to eat meat at every meal or some reason, And but we'll also get these. We'll get the ones that get dragged here for some event or a girlfriend or whatever, and they're angry. They are pissed that they've been dragged to a vegan restaurant. And I've seen it over and over again. They start off, and by the end of the meal, they're like, we're their favorite restaurant. And I'm not kidding. I mean, literally their favorite restaurant. We had this woman that was kind of a regular here, and she brought in her boyfriend, and he told me, I'm going to go eat meat after this because this isn't my thing, right? And I said, okay.
Challenge accepted.
Yeah. So he came back 4 times that week with her. And she pulls me aside and says, he's the one that keeps asking to come back. The 4th time, came in with his whole family, 10 people, and pulled me aside and he told me, I am such a hardcore meat eater, I have 3 smokers in my backyard. So when I tell you that I'm telling all my friends and family that a vegan restaurant is my favorite restaurant in LA, you know how bizarre that is.
That's
to them.
outrageous.
So
That's cool.
we have that happen quite often. So that's always fun to see them like, oh wow, it can be great.
We can eat vegan food.
It's not going to be straw.
And I'm here to attest to your food too. I've eaten here several times in preparation for this show, and then also on my own. And your food, thank you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for making some incredible food that, like you said, vegans and non-vegans
Well,
can thoroughly
I
enjoy.
have to mention that, it's really a collaborative effort here. Anyone can put a special on the menu. Now, it has to meet the qualification that everybody has to love it, but anybody can submit one. And so each month we have 4 new specials, and we usually get about 12 to 16 presented to us. And so a bunch of the different staff present us the specials, and then we choose with the whole staff choosing. And it's really fun because on our menu there's easily 8 different chefs on our menu so it's we have input and we put things on the menu, but our staff is amazing and always coming up with something innovative.
Okay, so if this gig does not work out for me, I'm coming to work for you guys.
Okay.
Please. We can have you on part-time.
Oh, okay, perfect.
Just come in, make food. Yeah.
All right, I would be so happy about that. Thank you so much. Okay, so we're going to be making food today.
Yes, we're going to make a couple of different dishes.
Awesome. So let's go do that.
Okay.
All right, let's go.
Thank you.
Beautiful. This is a special that they have today, and it's roasted squash with risotto and quinoa and broccolini. It looks wonderful.
Okay, guys, we're here to go ahead and make our outrageous nacho cheese sauce. I'm so excited about this. I'm kind of a cheese connoisseur.
Okay.
Vegan cheese connoisseur. So
I'm on the spot.
You
That's
are
what
on the
you're
spot.
saying.
I'm going to see if the it factor's here.
Okay, well, I'll try and live up to the expectations. So we make all our own cheeses here at Sun Cafe, and this is one of them, our nacho cheese. And I know this is going to sound strange, but we make our nacho cheese out of sunflower seeds.
Interesting.
Well,
Okay.
and if you think about what cheese is, it's fat more than it is milk. In other words, if you can replace milk fat with seed fat, so much the better. Now it's
sense to me.
vegan. It doesn't have some of the negative connotations of, lactose intolerant people can't eat cheese. Milk, I believe, is one of the main factors of causing allergies and stuff like that.
Yes.
Thanks. Couldn't find the word there.
That's okay.
I had the A, but I couldn't find the rest. So anyway, sunflower seeds are also super nutritious for us, so that's our base. So we soak seeds and nuts before we use them. it makes them easier to digest. And so we've got our sunflower seeds. Also, sunflower seeds are a local, like if you try and use nuts like cashews, Brazil nuts,
Yeah.
they come from overseas. And so when we started the restaurant, ironically, sunflower seeds were $1.95 a pound for organic, and Brazil nuts were $1.95, and cashews were $1.95. Now, sunflower seeds are still at $1.95, cashews are $7.50 a pound wholesale, and
man.
$13 a pound for Brazil nuts.
Okay.
And they started off at the same price. So
Well, because
sunflower seeds
'cause
are reasonable.
Yeah,
expensive.
cashews are the usual go-to nut for
They are.
Cheez-Its.
And,
But that's
and I
expensive.
love using cashews, but and why cashews are so great is they're creamy, but they have almost no flavor. So you can mold it into whatever flavor you want. Sunflower seeds have a little more flavor, but they work great in the nacho because we got a lot of flavor going on.
Cool.
So here's
Let's
what
see
we
it.
do. So we're going to put in the sunflower seeds. After draining them, we'll just get rid of this. And then, so here's the way we flavor it here at Sun Cafe. So we use fresh red pepper, a little bit of red pepper for the color partly, but also it gives it kind of a background flavor. And then kind of my secret weapon, nutritional yeast, not to be confused with brewer's yeast, which is not going to make a very good cheese because it's very bitter. But this actually tastes a lot like cheese. And for the vegans out there, this is one of the only sources naturally that a vegan will get B12. So yeah, so the only other place you get it is from fermented vegetables like kimchi and sauerkraut.
Which is also good.
It's also great, but
you know, when you're feeding kids or something, they're
Yeah.
not going to eat kimchi.
Exactly.
So this,
Yeah, that's
so
a good
this
point.
is good. This is good.
And then we're adding a little paprika. Paprika gives it a nice smoky flavor. It's not smoked paprika, but just even normal paprika has kind of a smoky flavor.
I could smell the smoky
Yeah.
flavor.
And then here is the secret ingredient for making vegan cheese, in my opinion, lemon juice. And the reason it is we're only going to make this and it's not going to age for 3 months like cheddar cheese or something. This is a trick of making your tongue think it's aged. And the reason is, if you think about it, when you eat aged cheese, it hits the very front of your tongue, that initial bite, and lemon juice hits the same part of the tongue. So it's not going to
Fascinating.
completely convince you, but it'll be, it kind of gives the
I'm going to be
illusion.
completely
Okay.
convinced.
And then, because it's a nacho Mexican cheese, cumin. Cumin is kind of the main seasoning of many Mexican dishes.
Love cumin.
So yeah, I also love that it's doesn't overpower dishes. It's kind of, it gives you lots of flavor, but it doesn't overwhelm you. Where like something like sage, you put in too much sage and it's, oh my gosh.
You're done.
Yeah, so anyway, and then to counterbalance some of the acid in here, the lemon juice and so on, we're going to use a little bit of dates. This is just ground dates.
Dates.
Yeah.
Okay,
So-
now this is blowing my mind because I've never seen a sweet component go into
Right.
a vegan cheese.
Yeah, so that's why we're using it. Dates are the best sweetener because they're all natural, they're a fruit, they have tons of fiber, they have incredibly nutrient density, and I've talked to medical doctors and they say that's the best sweetener you can have in food.
In anything. Wow.
And
cool.
then we've got a little bit of sea salt, and there we go. We're just gonna, can you grab me the water right there?
Yeah.
Thanks. Realized I don't have the water.
It's okay. We got some right here.
So
we're at a
now
restaurant.
Now we don't have to add too much because the red pepper is going to add some of the water, and we
Okay.
put in some lemon juice. So we're just going to put in a little bit. Now, in my classes, I talk about I never give an exact water measurement, and the reason is not that I'm confused, but that I've had many because we're using fresh ingredients here. They vary.
Oh, okay.
So like sunflower seeds, I've had some that required 2-3 times as much water than others. Because you don't know, was it a drought year, which farm it was farmed on, what time of year did they pick it, and so on. There's all these factors that depend on how moist the nuts are.
I'm
So,
learning so much. This is fantastic.
so I put in and then I watch through and make sure there's enough. We don't want too much because we want it nice and thick though. So here we go. Okay, so I can see that it needs a little bit more, not a whole lot more.
This is like party in a blender. I'm serious. Like, I wish you guys were here to smell
Yeah,
this.
there's a lot of
Yeah.
aroma coming up from that. All right. All right, that should be good. Let's take a look here. So it's close, but you can see it's creamy, but not quite super creamy. So I'm going to
Okay.
put just a little bit more water in there, like 1 tablespoon more, and just blend it for another 10 seconds, and it'll be ready. All right, so I've just got some chips here just to show you the consistency. We also do jicama chips here, where we just cut jicama real thin and use those as a healthier chip. So, and then we'll show you the finished product with all the guac and the cashew sour cream and the fresh pico de gallo all later. But just to show you, so it's a nice thick nacho sauce there.
Okay, I'm gonna reach in. I'm gonna try this.
Okay. Okay, let's see if it meets the Marcy seal of approval.
That's no joke. I get to taste all these little gems in there, like the cumin.
Right.
I could definitely taste the cumin. The smoked paprika,
Right.
like you could taste the smoky
Yeah.
flavor, which I
Right.
really enjoy. I cannot taste the dates at all.
No, it just
But they're in
balances
there.
it. It balances
It's such a great balance
Yeah.
because I can't taste the
Right,
dates at
right.
all.
Now, you don't have to use this just on nachos. You can use it, on a casserole. You could use it on a sandwich, just, as a cheese for a sandwich. So you can use it
Just
all
eat
sorts
it
of
by
ways.
spoonfuls,
Oh,
whatever.
and one other okay, you could do that. Most people probably won't, but
Okay, well,
you
they're
can.
weird.
Okay, so one tip I'll give you though. Now it makes quite a bit of cheese.
Yeah.
That's a lot. Now, especially if you're a single person, it only lasts a few days in the fridge.
Okay.
So what I recommend is that you get a silicone ice tray and you pour in like single amounts of it that you think you would use in a serving, and then you just pop one of those out, defrost it, and then you have your cheese. And then,
What a great idea.
because what I've done in the past, I've learned this through experience, you freeze it all together, and now what do? I have to take a chisel to get, so.
Yeah, that's
Anyway, learn from my mistakes.
Okay, that is incredible. Thank you so much for sharing your
Sure.
secret sauce with us.
And now we're gonna make some lemon balls.
All right, let's
Great
do it.
dessert. Okay.
So good.
All right, here's your baked mac and cheese. Enjoy.
Thank you.
Ooh, this looks really good. I'm excited to eat it. I love the breadcrumbs on top. It gives it a nice crunch and texture.
Oh, it's so
really good.
creamy.
Okay, so time for my favorite part. We are going to be making dessert. And so Ron is going to tell us a little bit about these lemon balls.
So it's a very simple recipe, but it's got a lot of flavor, especially if you love lemon. And it's also super healthy for you, which most desserts aren't. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take a carrot, just chop it up, and you need a food processor for this, ideally. And we're just gonna put the carrot in the food processor and shred it up. Just let that go a bit. We're gonna add raisins in a second. Okay, So that's, let me just show you the consistency there. It's just chopped up nice and fine. And then you want lemon zest, lemon peel essentially. And so a zester or a microplane as they're called works best for that. And just run the lemon peel across that. So zest, if you see that in recipes all the time, all that means it's the peel of any citrus. So lemon, lime, orange, grapefruit, anything that's citrus. And all it does is the peel kind of supercharges the flavor. And so that's why we use it in cooking, because it gives an extra boost of flavor. So we want quite a bit in this, about a tablespoon.
Awesome.
And so that's about one lemon, one good-sized lemon, I should say. And that's going to give it a lot of flavor. And then we're going to put in just a little bit of juice as well. But if you put in too much juice, they get kind of soggy. They're still great, but they get a little soggy. So there's our lemon zest. Put that in.
Awesome.
All right, and then I'm going to put in a little of the juice. Maybe about a teaspoon or so.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, just a teaspoon.
It's nice that you're able to use the lemon that you zested though. So.
Yeah. Okay, get all the zest in there. Now, one of the tricks of this is we're going to use date paste in this, which is just ground dates. You can get it at Amazon. A lot of farmers markets have it. If you can't get date paste, you do need to have dates that are nice and soft. So you can use regular dates, but if they've dried out a little bit, you want to soak them in water and get them nice and moist, because we want it to adhere to the carrots.
So how do I get a date to paste? So now
Well,
if
you don't want to.
I have soft
You don't want to
dates.
bother.
You don't want to bother?
No,
Just buy the
you're
date
just going to
paste?
buy,
Okay.
either buy the date paste or soften your dates, take the pit out, and just put them in one at a time.
Oh, perfect.
So either way. Okay, so, but the catch is you don't want to put it all in at the same time, because you'll just have these great big
Look, clump.
clump that doesn't mix in. So you put a little bit at a time is the key. And food processors have a hole at the top for a reason, so you can drop stuff in. So we're going to keep dropping in the dates. Now, if you haven't had dates from a farmer's market, you're missing out. They're like they're a whole different fruit at a farmer's market. They're so fresh, you just have never seen them that fresh. And so it's really great to get them from a farmer's market. And then, see how we're mixing? Yep, we're good. So we're all, at the very end, we're going to add the raisins. The raisins don't need to be ground up. We just want to mix them in. So we just turn it on for a second with the raisins.
Cool.
Now, let's move this aside. There's a couple ways you can do this. I'm going to put on gloves to roll these, but you can roll them by themselves, which we'll do. But also, one of the things I like to do with these is use some shredded coconut and make that a little outside.
I love coconut.
Yeah, and it also makes them drier on the outside and it looks prettier, but I'll do them both ways. So we'll just grab some of this. So, we've got these sticky, gooey balls, and we're just gonna roll them up. And then I'll show you a way to do it here.
I love how bright the carrot is,
Right.
peeking out of that date paste.
It just adds a little
Yeah.
extra nutrition to it as well, and also it helps make them a little fluffier. Because if it was just dates, it'd be kind of too compact.
Yeah, I love that.
So if you want to roll them in the coconut, you just put out the coconut, roll around the ball in there.
All right, you're gonna pass me that one.
Okay. So there is with your coconut
Yay!
outside.
Okay, let me try this.
All right. Super simple.
That has an explosion of flavor.
Yeah.
That is really tasty. Tropical, tangy.
Right.
I really like that. Honestly, I can't even taste the carrot.
No,
It's
it's
just-
really not for flavor. It's strictly for nutrition and to
Strictly
kind
for
of
health.
fluff it up a little bit.
That's really fantastic
Yeah.
because I think these are perfect for children.
Yeah,
If
they
you're
have
trying to
fun
get-
rolling them
Yeah.
and all that.
If you're trying to get vegetables into your
Right.
children's diets, like this is wonderful to get that carrot, all the
And
carrots.
it's so simple. I mean, it's like, what was that, 5 minutes or less?
Mm-hmm.
And you have a really tasty dessert. By the way, they last easily a week or two. So you know,
These
they
would not
they
last a
hold
week
well.
or two.
Well, they're supposed to last a week.
They would not last a week or two with me.
It's feasible that they could last a week or two.
Okay, so this you showed us for a cooking class. I think it's absolutely amazing. Thank you so much. Tell us about the desserts at Sun Cafe.
Now, our desserts here at the restaurant are a lot more decadent than this. We have cookie dough cheesecake and almond butter cheesecake. We have key lime pie. We have blueberry cheesecake. We have this beautiful brownie dish with coconut ice cream and chocolate sauce and all. So lots of and we have some great cupcakes. All of our desserts are gluten-free.
That's really
A
fantastic.
lot of them are raw. Our cheesecakes are all raw. So yeah, you can have some real, and they're the kind of thing that you wouldn't want to do at home because they're so complex. So this is where you come to get your complex desserts.
I
And then
think
in my
this is where
classes,
you
I show you
come-
how to do the easy stuff.
I think this is where you come just no matter what.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Well, let's go ahead and take a look at some of those desserts.
Okay, let's go.
This place is so amazing. This is just one of many restaurants that we're going to be filming for Discover Vegan. So stay tuned for some more amazing programming. But in the meantime, you have to come to Sun Cafe and eat everything here.